Today, I'm back with another mega preview video for you all. This is where we run down the hottest physical media titles coming out in the entire month of March. This includes 4Ks, Blu-rays, boutique labels, limited editions, steelbooks, you name it. We're going to cover it all right now. I'm going to give you the prices, going to give you the thoughts and recommendations on every single one of those hot titles. So let's get into this amazing March madness. But before we do that, of course, if you love collecting physical media just like me, and being a part of this amazing collecting community, go ahead and mega smash that like and subscribe. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics and all the entire year. But let's get into this month here. We got some banger weeks. First up, we got March 5th. We got The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance on 4K, 15% off, 21.98. Now that's a great deal for this 4K. To me, this movie looks gorgeous in black and white. They did a great job on the restoration work here, and I really like this classic Western. You got Jimmy Stewart, you got John Wayne, and it's not too long of a Western, so that's nice. Now, if you don't have the Paramount Presents line, this is probably the way to go, because I already have the Paramount one. I don't need this re-release, but the cover does look decent enough. Next up, we got Over the Edge 1979 on Blu-ray, 20% off, 27.99. And I've never seen this movie before. It kind of looks creepy, the front cover, so don't know if it would be the movie for me, but if you're into it, I'm guessing it's horror. Go ahead and enjoy. Next up, we got the Saw 10 film collection on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital, 78.99. And that's a pretty hefty price for Blu-rays, even though you're getting 10 of them. You know they're going to release more Saw films. We already got 11 announced. And why aren't these in 4Ks? That would have been such a cool idea to get a whole 4K box set of all the Saw movies. That would have been more enticing than this. We've gotten them on Blu-ray and DVD before. Not sure what their goal is with this one. Next up, we got to have the 355 4K Blu-ray and digital, 27.98. And you got some decent acting talent here, like Jessica Chastain. I saw this one in theaters way back when, and it was an okay action thriller movie, but it was kind of forgettable too. So I'm definitely not going to add that one to my collection, especially at that price. But who knows? Maybe you're just a fan of the acting talent here. Next up, we got the Little Monsters Blu-ray digital steelbook from Walmart. Cool exclusive here. The artwork does look very colorful and popping at 1996. Now, I have seen Little Monsters. I have the Blu-ray from the Vestron line that was a slipcover style, and that movie just kind of creeped me out. I don't know, it was really weird watching it for the first time. You got the Salvage Brothers in there, but a lot of people like that one. So if you don't have this one at all, hey, get this cool fancy steelbook edition. Next up, speaking of fancy steelbooks, we got Kickboxer on Blu-ray and digital. And this one I actually did pre-order myself because I love the 1996 price point here. That's not too terrible. And I'm trying to get into more martial arts movies. And I just thought this would be a fun way to do that. So yeah, I like sports movies. I think this could be a fun time. Hopefully, it's almost as good as Rocky. Just kidding. If it can be as half that good, I will still have a great time. Next up, we got Shivers on Blu-ray and digital. Same kind of steelbook style. Really cool looking cover on this one as well. This is a David Cronenberg title. I've never seen this one. I'm guessing it's like body horror, so not my go-to style. But if you're into that, it's actually really cheap right now. It's only $11.62, at least at this time of this recording. That's pretty wild. That's a good little discount, under $12 for a cool looking steelbook. Why not? All right, next up, we got our next Blu-ray Tuesday with March 12th, and this is the big one. This is the big one of the month right here. We got Abyss on 4K, 38% off at $24.96. Yes, we're finally getting James Cameron titles, the ultra high definition. How cool is that? I think that movie is going to look really good in 4K with all those water visual effects. I think it's going to look really fascinating. So yeah, I have mine pre-ordered off of Disney Movie Club. Now, I think Disney Movie Club is going to be gone in a few months, so hopefully they still honor all these pre-orders, or then we're going to have no good there. No good. But yeah, hopefully that one's going to be a great title. Next up, going along with the James Cameron line, we got True Lies 4K, 36% off, 25.49. Now, I'm very excited for this one. This is the first time getting this to 4K. We don't even have this one on Blu-ray, I think. I think it was only on DVD way back when. But you got Arnold and Jamie Lee Curtis. It's an action comedy. It's super fun, super entertaining. Definitely a crowd pleaser. I got that one pre-ordered as well. You know, get my little discount with ordering all of these off the Disney Movie Club. Once again, hopefully Disney Movie Club still fulfills these pre-orders here, but very excited for this one. Probably number one excitement out of the James Cameron line for me. Next up, speaking of the James Cameron stuff, we got Aliens on 4K. Finally, 36% off, 25.49. This is some people's favorite Alien movie just because it gets so action packed in there. So I can't wait to see this one again. Hopefully, they did a great job on the 4K quality. All right, next up, we got Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom on 4K. If you're just going with the Slippy, 17% off right now, 32.99 off of Amazon, of course. But there is a Steelbook edition exclusive to Walmart for 34.96. So if you're getting this day one, I'd probably go with the Walmart Steelbook because it's only a couple dollars more, right? What do you have to lose at that point? But do I recommend a day one pickup? Not necessarily, even though I pre-ordered it myself because I absolutely love superhero movies. This was one of the weakest superhero movies I've ever seen. It was not as good as the first one, not even close. It just got very generic and just I couldn't feel the heart and emotion like the first one got me. And the villain in here just it wasn't working. The whole story was just off to me. It just was not the best, unfortunately. Next up, we got Kung Fu Panda on 4K Blu-ray and digital, 17% off, 24.99. So if you're getting ready for the new Kung Fu Panda movie, maybe you want to see the first one in 4K. Now, for me, animated titles is a little bit more difficult to tell the difference between the 4K and the Blu-ray. So do I need this day one at full price? Definitely not. So who knows? Maybe in the future, if they did a 4K collection of the whole franchise, I would consider that a little bit more. All right, next up, we got Poor Things on Blu-ray, and it looks to be a hefty price right now. I think they're going to discount this sooner rather than later, but right now it's saying $34.99 off of Amazon. Now, I saw this one in theaters, and wow, this movie was bizarre and weird and wacky and just oh my gosh, a whole lot going on there. It's definitely a very hard R movie, a lot of nudity in there, but it does have its funny moments and a great acting performance from Emma Stone. So I know she's getting award recognition here. So if you're into Oscar baity kind of movies, definitely look at Poor Things. It's definitely a very unique film. All right, next up we got Quigley Down Under. I think I'm saying that right. 4K and Blu-ray. This looks to be a Western movie of sorts. Yeah, I don't know anything about this one here. So you guys are going to have to decide if that's going to be one you want to add into your collection. Being close to the $30 price point at day one pickup just because it's a boutique label style. I don't know if it's the title for me, but hey, maybe you love that one. All right, next up we got Wish, which we do have a Walmart exclusive steelbook here, which gets you the 4K Blu-ray and digital for 34.96. Now, that's the only way to get the 4K. There are Blu-ray options out there, but of course, if you want this movie as a collector, you're going to want the 4K, right? And I actually did like this movie in theaters. I thought it was charming. I did like the music. The animation style was fine to me. I thought the story was decent. So I thought it was a solid little family film. I don't know why people were hating on it as much as it was, but it's pretty decent. I don't need a day one. And once again, at the $35 price point, a little too hefty for my wallet at the moment. All right, next up we got Ferrari on Blu-ray, 40% off, 16.19. And I just have not heard the greatest things about this movie. I know it was trying to be Oscar baity, but I heard it ended up being pretty darn boring. So yeah, besides maybe some good acting performances in there, because I think isn't it Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz, if I remember correctly, something like that. And I think it's a Michael Mann directed film. It seems like it would have some good ingredients there, but just haven't heard the best stuff. Next up, we got ISS on Blu-ray, 40% off. 12.59. That's a super cheap price for this, but I can understand why. I saw this movie in theaters, and gosh, this was so boring. I thought they were gonna do more. Thought it was gonna be like an epic slasher in space, and they just don't go far enough with this one. So unfortunately, cannot highly recommend that one, even at that low price. Next up, a movie I could recommend is Anyone But You on Blu-ray and digital, 36% off at 24.99. And this was a fun romantic comedy. It's the Much Ado About Nothing kind of story. You got Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney, and they got really good chemistry in the movie. It's a fun time. I can recommend that. Not at that price. Once it gets discounted to like 15 bucks, absolutely would pick that up if you're into the rom-coms. All right, next up we got The Color Purple, the new one. Yes, 4K and digital. Of course, we got this at 14% off, 29.96. And I actually really like this one. I saw this one in theaters. I thought the music was excellent and the production costume design is absolutely fantastic. So I can recommend seeing that one. Next up, we got Freelance on Blu-ray, 40% off. 11.99. Now that's a really good price for this movie, and this movie is actually a fun time. It's like a dumb action comedy. It gets really silly at points. You got John Cena in there, but if you go into it with the right mindset, you might just have a good time like I did. So I enjoyed that one. Just get a group of buddies, watch Freelance. You're going to have a decent time. All right, next Blu ray Tuesday, we're going to have March 19th, and we got the Ring Collection 4K and Blu ray 30% off, 62.99. Now, that is an awesome looking set. I do have to say, the artwork that Scream Factory did on this one is fantastic. So creepy. I love the greens and the blues. It's making me want this one, even though I remember seeing the Ring remake and it was absolutely terrifying as a kid. So I don't know if I need these movies right away. If this got discounted in the future to like 30 something dollars, I could see myself picking it up then. But if you're a massive Ring franchise fan, hey, you might as well get it. It looks like a cool set. And, 63 bucks. Yeah, it's okay. A little too hefty for me. All right, next up we got K19 The Widowmaker Collector's Edition 4K Blu-ray, 15% off, 33.99. And this one looks to have Harrison Ford in it, I believe, like an action thriller. Kind of looks interesting, but close to $34. Not going to do a day one pickup here. If we got a super discount in the future, maybe I would consider it. But I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know too much about it. Same with this next one, the Manchurian Candidate 4K, 10% off, 28.70. This is the remake of the Manchurian Candidate. I've never seen the original. I've never seen the Actually, I might have seen the remake, but I think it when I was younger, and I forgot about it. But yeah, it looks to have some good acting talent here. I think it's a political thriller of sorts, but once again, I just don't remember too much about that one, unfortunately. Next up, we got Carrie 2013 Collector's Edition 4K Blu-ray, 39.98. Now that is way too high of a price. It was under 30 bucks. I think more people will consider it, and I don't even know if it does come with a slipcover. I wonder that. But I mean, I like this one. If you like the Carrie story, you'll probably like it. It's Chloe Grace Moretz. I think she's a good acting talent, and so it's exactly what you expect. So yeah, but not at that price. Just no way. Next up, we got Changing Lanes on 4K, 10% off, 28.70. Now this looks like an action thriller of sorts, and yeah, I kind of would check this one out. It looks like a more modern movie. I think this one is actually from Kino Lorber, if I'm remembering correctly. That's kind of a fun title for them to do because I know they do more classic movies. Hey, this is a modern movie. Why not go for it? All right, next up we got Child's Play 2019. So this is the remake here, collector's edition from Scream Factory, I believe, 4K Blu-ray. It's around that close to that $30 price point here. Of course, I actually did like this one for what it was. AI, Chucky. It makes sense for the modern day and age. So if you like the Megan movie, it's very close to that. And so yeah, it just depends if you want to complete the entire Chucky franchise. All right, next up we got Dark Water on 4K. I believe this is from Arrow, 33% off, 33.59. Once again, looks like a hefty price there. And I don't know anything about this one, but the front cover does pique my interest. All right, the last Blu-ray Tuesday of the month, we got March 26th. We got To Die For, the Criterion Collection on 4K, 30% off, 34.99. That is a hefty price, but hey, Criterion sale maybe, get a little discount on this one. Don't know anything about this movie. I'm guessing it's a thriller of sorts, but I could be completely wrong. Next up, we got Primal Fear on 4K, limited edition. I think this is the Paramount Presents line, if I remember correctly. 12% off, 35.19. Once again, have not seen it. I'm guessing it's a thriller just based on the title. But next up, we got to have Paint Your Wagon on 4K. Kino Lorber, 20% off, 31.85. Once again, looks like a very classic kind of Western style movie. So that's not my go-to genre, so I can skip on that one. But if you're interested, hey, 32 bucks. Nice. All right, next up, we got North Dallas 40 4K. 20% off, 31.85. Another Kino Lorber title. This looks more like a sports comedy. So if I had to pick between this and Painting Your Wagon, I might go this one because, maybe get a few good laughs out of this one at the very least. But once again, I would wait for a Kino Lorber sale on any of these right here. All right, next up, we got the Iron Claw Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. This has to be a wrong price, right? 39.99 is way too hefty for a Blu-ray. If this was, 20 bucks, something like that, I mean, 15 bucks would be a great deal. But let's get that a little bit cheaper. I did enjoy my theater experience with this one. More emotional than you think it's going to be. And Zach Efron, oh my gosh, just the transformation he went through, it's outrageous. He gives a great performance as well, so it's worth it watching that alone. It just takes you into the world of classic wrestling, and it's actually kind of fascinating. So just remember to bring the tissues. All right, next up we got When Evil Lurks on Blu-ray, 16% off, 21.73. Have not seen this movie. I have a feeling it was like a Shutter original, something like that. Thought I heard decent things about it, but haven't seen. I'm guessing it's a slasher movie though. It just looks like that from the front cover there. But there we go. Those were the Blu-ray Tuesdays of March, the hottest physical media titles coming out. You guys are gonna have to let me know in the comments below what titles are you most interested in picking up, which ones really caught your attention there. And then, of course, if you do decide to go and pick any of them up, pre-order any of them, just go through the Amazon affiliate links in the description below because that does give some credit to my channel, and I greatly appreciate you for that because it doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a fun, easy way to support the channel, of course. And if you haven't already, go ahead and mega smash that like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you're alerted when a new physical media topic video posts, and you stay entertained and up to date all year long on the future months of amazing physical media goodness, of course. And then, of course, if you love this video, mega click the next one right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters.